Morning, y'all. How's everyone doing today? I'm John with Standalone Defendable, and I'd just like to talk to you guys a little bit today about my vision for my business and the reason why I'm wanting to get into wildfire consulting. First off, I truly believe I have information and experience and training that can help save civilian and firefighters' lives. A little bit about my background is I got to spend 26 years fighting wildfire in California with, in my opinion, the best wildland firefighting agency out there, CAL FIRE, Department of Forestry. I know a lot of you that are with federal departments or things like that will have different opinions about that, but I believe in general we see the most fire, and we also are heavily involved in WUI, Wildland Urban Interface, more than any other department, pretty much in the world, which puts us into some unique positions for life safety and rescues and things of that nature. So please, if by any means any of this information is useful to you and you're interested, please like and share, subscribe to this channel. And if you have any questions on wildfires or preparing your home for wildfires or any of the terms that I use during this video, feel free to shoot me a message and I will get back to you and try and answer your questions best of my ability. The topic I want to touch on today is when people are evacuating from conflagrations, wind-driven fires that are burning through multiple homes at once. I agree. Evacuating early is your best chance. Be prepared. Have your items ready to go, and when there's an early warning of a wildfire, heed those warnings. Now on to the reality of some of these fires are moving so fast with such intense rates of spread that evacuating is not always the best option. First, have your property and your home basically standalone defendable. And if you have no idea what that means, it's basically saying that your property can survive a wildfire without any intervention from the fire department or anybody else, through defensible space and home hardening and just all around preparation. If you have enough area that you could use as a safety zone, a temporary refuge, we like to call them a TRA, maybe the best option would be staying in place, letting the fire front move over you, and then evaluating the situation after that if you have to evacuate, or just stay and continue protecting your property. I'll give a reference to this. During the campfire in Paradise, California, November 8th of 2018, I was involved in a situation where we were trying to help rescue people on Pearson Road. We had basically a traffic jam that was about 1.5 miles long. Not sure how many cars were in there or how many people were in that particular area. We drove up that road, coming off of Pence on the initial attack, basically, of the campfire, because we heard there were people trapped. When we got up to where the cars were all stopped, All honesty, I should have had a better plan of where I wanted to be able to put these people and how to get traffic moving. Um, People basically just started leaving their cars that were burning, and we fit as many people as we possibly could into our fire engine. We were able to take in 3 civilians. I believe they were all nurses from the Feather River Hospital, and provide them some safety. We did deploy fire shelters in the engine just from the intense radiant heat that we were sustaining and not being able to move away from the fire front. I made a call over the radio asking for some kind of support and help. In retrospect, I knew I wasn't going to be able to get any aircraft support. The winds were too strong for any kind of aircraft to be able to fly. Just would have put them, the pilots and everybody else, in severe risk and harm's way to be able to fly during those conditions. A good friend of mine, Joe Kennedy, heard my call on the radio. He's a HFEO, heavy equipment fire operator. Gets to cruise around in a Caterpillar D5N. In my opinion, the guys that probably put out the most fire out of anybody in a wildland fire. Anyway, he was doing structure defense down off of Pence, which was about 1.5 miles from my location. He boogied up there as fast as he possibly could, and it seemed like he got there almost instantly. I don't know how he did it, but he was there amazingly fast, and he was able to push some of the vehicles that were on fire out of our way. And then he was very familiar with the local area. He used to work in the Butte unit, and we were able to get about 75 cars into a big open field area with no vegetation. A really, really good temporary refuge area. Let the fire front pass by, and then get those folks to safety. The civilians that we had, we actually ended up taking them back to Feather River Hospital, and met them up with law enforcement to get them evacuated safely. My point behind this is, one, if after they got the hospital evacuated, if a lot of those people would just stayed at the hospital and waited it out in the parking lot, probably would have been a safer bet than trying to drive through the fire front that was pretty much encompassing almost all of the town of Paradise at this time. The spot fires that were taking hold, which was almost all of them, were growing incredibly fast and rapidly. In my 26 years of fighting fire, I'd never seen pretty much any town where almost the entire town was being hit by a fire front all at once due to the amount of spot fires. So if we could have just kept those people there, would have probably kept a lot of people off the road. And then my biggest hope that I can relay from this is also anybody in the fire service. We need to have a way that we can immediately contact law enforcement. It's been talked about for a long time about having a common channel between firefighters and law enforcement. I believe those channels do exist, but we have to get everybody on the same page of actually monitoring those channels and using them. had I been able to, as the engine captain, relay to the folks doing traffic control that were trying to evacuate people down Skyway, down into Chico, if I would have been able to relay the information to them to start taking all the cars off of Pearson Road and just putting them into parking lots, whether it be at grocery stores or big open church parking lots or anywhere where they could have taken refuge in those parking lots and let the fire front move by, and would have been able to get traffic moving sooner on Pearson Road, I believe we could have saved more lives. I believe out of the 85 people that perished during the campfire, I believe 5 of them were there on Pearson Road. I know for a fact that one of the cars that the dozer pushed up and out of our way unfortunately had 2 people who didn't make it in the car. Pretty graphic memory. As the dozer was pushing the car up, it kind of slid up a tree. As the car was going up the tree, the winds came in alignment through the windshield or through the windows that had broken out, and we could clearly see 2 people who did not make it inside the burning car. At that point, when he was pushing that car out of the way, the gas tank ruptured on it, and it started pouring gas down the road. It was running downhill and was on fire. The movies are not correct. Gas tanks usually don't blow up. Usually the gas catches on fire and runs down to a low point. Anyway, as that was happening, the burning gas was going up and over the tracks of the Caterpillar D5. It was literally, I don't think Hollywood could have done it better. It was pretty surreal to be watching that happen. So, yeah, like I said, please like and subscribe to this channel. Please, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments and I will get back to you. I am truly hoping that I can create a business model that will truly give people options to be able to survive a wildfire, and kind of like the entire package of defensible space, home hardening, water systems, like things that I believe should almost be mandated. Well, not almost. I believe they should be mandated in areas that are extremely prone to wildfires. It drives me crazy when people say these are unprecedented fires. They're not. If you do a little bit of research and you look at the fire history in California, these fires pretty much burn in the same areas during the same kind of events with this almost the same exact burn scar. You look at the fire history maps of Topanga Canyon, and for the last 50 years, those fires have done pretty much the same thing under the same kind of conditions. Really good reference is you look at the Tubbs fire in 2017 in Sonoma County, is almost the exact same fire perimeter that the Hanley fire had in 1954. The only major difference is that we've added thousands of homes and people living up in this area. Without being there, I can't say 100% sure, but I believe what created most of the problems in Southern California earlier this month was, everybody likes to talk about the firefighters being understaffed and the water supply, and those are certainly all factors, but in my opinion, the biggest factor is none of those communities had really any kind of separations between the homes. You have to be able to mitigate that radiant heat in some way, and air is one of the best insulators out there. So if building regulations were so that these homes had to be a couple 100 feet apart from each other, and they had the preventive measures in place of home hardening and really really good defensible space, almost no flammable vegetation on their property, I think a lot more homes would still be here. So, hope this was informational for you. And hope to hear from you. And I promise, any related question to wildland firefighting or tactics and strategies or what works and what doesn't work, I'll be more than happy to answer you back with the best information I have. And if I don't have the information, I'll find the resources and get it to you. Have a good one.